Chapter 19, page 225, A Home for Huck. Huck looked at the clothes, then at Tom, and said, "Tom, we can get out of here if we can find a rope. The window isn't too high up, so he wants to leave." "What do you want to get away for?" asked Tom. "Well, I'm not used to that kind of crowd. I can't stand it. I'm not going down there, Tom. Remember, Huck doesn't have a home, and his dad always drinks. He doesn't have great clothes. He doesn't have to go to school and everything, so he's not used to being around people like this." "Oh, don't worry, Huck. It's nothing. I'll take care of you." Then Sid entered the room and told Tom and Huck that the party had been planned for a special reason. Mr. Welsh intended to tell everyone that it was Huck who had saved the widow's life, and then the widow was going to announce some secret. So Mr. Welsh was going to tell the truth, saying that it was Huck that found out about Injun Joe and his partner and warned told the Welsh family, and they took care of the rest. "I don't know what the secret is," added Sid, "but I do know that Mr. Welsh wants Huck to be there to hear it." Later, when the widow's guests were at the supper table and a dozen children were propped up at little side tables, Mr. Welsh stood up to make his speech. He thanked the widow for the dinner she was giving in honor of his sons and himself. Oh, so she's doing it. She's giving that dinner to be like, thank you to the Welsh family. And he's thanking the widow for giving them this dinner. But, he added, there is another person whose modesty will not permit him to reveal his part in this brave rescue. Then, in his finest dramatic manner, Mr. Welsh told the secret about Huck's share in the adventure. So he told the widow that it was Huck that found out the information and warned the Welsh family. Widow Douglas heaped compliments and thanks on Huck, so she gave him a lot of compliments and thanked him. Everyone was looking at him, but poor Huck was just sitting there, squirming in his new and uncomfortable suit. So he's like, ugh, I don't want to be in this suit anymore. That's squirming. Then the widow announced that she meant to give Huck a home under her roof and have him educated. She added that when she could spare the money, she would start him in a business in a modest way. So she wants Huck to live with her, and she would take care of his education. So she would make sure he would go to school and everything. Oh, that was nice. Tom saw that his chance had come. Huck doesn't need money, he announced. Huck is rich. Only respect for the widow stopped everyone from laughing out loud at Tom's foolish words. Huck rich? Huck's got money, continued Tom. Maybe you don't believe it, but he's got lots of it. Oh, you needn't smile. I guess I'll have to show you. Just wait a minute. So he's going to prove that Tom is rich, or Huck is rich. Tom ran outside. The guests looked at each other with confused interest. Huck sat frozen to his seat. He couldn't bring himself to utter a word, say a word. Tom entered, struggling with the weight of the sacks. He poured the mass of yellow coins onto the table and cried, "There! What did I tell you? Half of it's Huck's and half of it's mine." The spectacle took everyone's breath away, but in moments they were all demanding an explanation, like, well, how did you get this money? Tom told the long but interesting story while everyone listened in silence. When he was finished, the money was counted. The sum amounted to a little over $12,000. It was more money than anyone present had ever seen before. $12,000, guys. Holy cow, that's so much money. These little boys found $12,000. Oh my gosh. Okay. So something that makes Tom interesting is that he's a really good friend, right? He tells Huck, he's like, don't worry, I'll take care of you throughout the dinner. Because he knows that he knows that Huck is uncomfortable, but he's like, no, I got you. So that's something. And he also is there to take care of Huck. He's like, oh, look, he's rich and everything. Oh my gosh. This is crazy, guys. And remember, these stories that we're reading, they happened to somebody. Because remember, Mark Twain, he said that all of these stories are based on either his boyhood, so what happened when he was a child, or that of his friends. So these stories happened to him and his friends. This is crazy, guys. All right. We have one chapter left, guys. We'll see what happens.